So I just put the playlist up there if you want it. If not, that's fine. Welcome. And if you are just joining, it looks like we have a couple more that just joined. Welcome. Feel free to grab 2 blocks and 2 blankets or 2 bath towels or beach towels if you have them. And we're going to get started seated today in a Virasana. Grab your 2 blocks and place your 2 blocks or your 2 books side by side. And if your knees feel tight, or if sitting on your shins of your knees is not good for your body, just come to a cross-legged position, legs crossed. Well, welcome. And take your hands to touch either your thighs, or if you want a little bit more connection, take your hands, like your hand is a glove, to your heel, and imagine that your heel is a ball. So your glove is catching an imaginary ball, really make a good fit. And then really start to connect the upper body to the lower body. And then take a breath in through the nose. Take a big breath out through the mouth. Let it out. Close the eyes if it feels comfortable for you today, or maybe take the gaze down to one focal point. And then really notice the space in front of you. Notice the space behind you. Notice the space to your left, to your right. And then inhale up the front, down the back, left and right, front and back. Exhale, feel like you're coming back to yourself at your center. And then really start to drop in. And we're using this idea of creating volume in the body today. And also this idea of aparigraha in the yoga practice. And aparigraha can really simply be translated to surrender or letting go. And really thinking about what's behind you. What's your past? What's your reflection? And then noticing your future in front of you, so that you can find yourself in between those 2 things at your center. And so maybe using a practice over the next hour to find this idea of aparigraha, simply surrendering or letting go of maybe something that doesn't serve you, maybe something that you don't need right now in your own life. And then again, breathe in, up and down, left and right, front and back. Exhale, come back to yourself at the center. And then take your right hand over your heart. Take your left hand right on top. Interlace the fingers. And then really make a connection, almost like those 2 sides of your body, your right and your left, your front and your back, are coming to yourself at your center, almost making one hand at the center, a third hand. On this third hand is really a symbol of you, the coming together of 2 sides to find yourself at the center. And when we use the body, when we use these maps, we're using those to find our own circumference, to find ourselves where we are, so that we can see all around us and get that full perspective. Take a breath, inhale through the nose. Let it out with a sigh through the mouth. And then blink the eyes open. Welcome everyone, namaste. Come over to hands and knees, find a table pose, come onto your mat, and feel free to slide the blocks and props off to the side. And if you want to use the playlist, feel free to click the playlist on if you haven't already. Start to spread the hands evenly and well. And from here, really draw the hips on top of the knees. Draw the shoulders on top of the wrist creases. And then from here, we're going to take 3 rounds of cat-cow, really moving from the pelvis. On an inhale, come into your cow pose. Look forward out in front of you. As you look forward, also see if you can see to the left and to the right. And then exhale, push the hands down, lift out of the shoulders, round the spine, find your cat pose. This time really initiating it from the pelvis. As you inhale, find your cow pose, draw your pubic bone forward, but draw your tailbone back and down. And then exhale, push the ground away, find your cat pose. Do that one more time, add the breath. Inhale, chair cow pose, draw your pubic bone forward, your tailbone back, and then find volume. Hips go out to their own sides, and then exhale, push the ground away, find your cat pose. Really relax to the back of the head, the back of the neck. Inhale, come back to your table pose, and then slowly, mindfully come into a short downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift your hips up and back for Adho Mukha Svanasana. So when we come into a down dog, the measurement of a down dog is from a plank pose. So come forward and then start to step your feet back, lengthen your legs back straight. So you're really finding that foundation of plank. Push your heels back, lengthen through the crown of your head, and then think your upper arm bones draw in order to push your armpits out just slightly. Look forward, but don't use your neck. Start to use your pubic bone to draw you forward, to take the gaze forward. And then notice where you're having the tendency to look. Do you look down? Do you look forward? Can you also look out to your right and left to get that full vision? Send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then add the breath here, 2 times flow. Inhale forward for plank pose, look forward, look out. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, down dog. One more moving. Inhale, come forward for plank. Exhale, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Drop your knees down. Shift your hips to your heels for a Balasana, child's pose. Straighten and lengthen your arms out towards the front, but draw your hip bones back towards your heels. And then start to get long through all 4 sides of the torso, the front, the back, the right, the left. And then inhale, slowly slide your hands towards your knees, and then sit onto your heels. Sit onto your heels, that's it. Roll over onto one hip, send your legs out, around in front of you. And you have, if you didn't grab your blanket now. I want you to sit on one blanket in almost like a square shape. So make sure that you have a little bit of more room than if it was just flat, like a rectangle. Really fold it so it's more in a square shape. And then put the edge right underneath your sits bones. And then from here, straighten your legs. Take your right hand like it's on a clock to 3 o'clock. Take your left hand like it's on a clock to 9 o'clock. And then start to bend your knees, but don't move your heels. Bend your knees, don't move your heels. Really draw your knees directly over the center of your feet. And then from here, I want you to really use the movement of the pelvis. Start to take your pubic bone forward towards the front of the mat and draw your tailbone down and back. So there's this really sort of big, deep forward bend from the pelvis. That's it. That almost draws your buttock bone back. So there's a big crease in the hips, a big crease in the knees. And then take your right hand to your left knee. Take your left hand back and behind you. And then just start to twist to the left. Maybe look over your left shoulder. Take a breath in. Exhale, take a breath out. And then come back through center, switch the hands, take your left hand to your right knee, take your right hand back and behind you. That's it. Keep the knees bent, really get buoyant through the legs. But as you move, really start to twist and look over your right shoulder. So really getting this sort of first perspective and first vision. We're going to twist in our practice today. Come back through center. And then I want you again, take your right hand to 3 o'clock, take your left hand to 9 o'clock. Like you're looking at a clock face. 12 o'clock is in front of you, and 6 o'clock is right behind you. So now, one more time, take your right hand to your left knee, and without turning, I want you to first turn your right shoulder, so your right shoulder is in between your knees at 12 o'clock. Now take your left hand back, right behind your tailbone, like it's at 6 o'clock. And then start to move first, lift your chest up. See if hinging your pelvis forward just slightly, really drawing your pubic bone forward and your tailbone back and down, gets you more leverage to then start to take the right shoulder to 12 o'clock. See if you can start to take the gaze back towards 6 o'clock and really take your right shoulder inside of your thighs, inside of your knees. Plug your right hip back into the hip socket and use that to move your left knee forward into your right hand. Plug your right hip back to move your left knee a little bit more forward into your right hand. And then maybe start to take the gaze back towards 6 o'clock over your left shoulder, but can you look back by using your right eye? Notice how much more space you've created to get more perspective, really getting a full 360-degree view. And then inhale up the front, down the back, left and right, front and back again. Exhale, come back to your center. Turn back to face the front, switch the hands. Left hand to right knee. That's it. And then take your right hand, back and behind your tailbone towards 6 o'clock. And then again, don't twist yet. Don't come into the twist yet. See again if you can really bend your knees but keep your heels down. And then think that your pubic bone draws you forward, your tailbone draws you back and down. That's it. Really, really strong. Good. And then really turn your left shoulder again to 6 o'clock. So you can draw your left shoulder inside of your knees, inside of your thighs, and then maybe start to take it a little bit deeper into the twist. Draw your right shoulder back towards 6. Plug your left hip back into the socket to move your right knee forward. Do that again. Plug your left hip in and back to bend and plug your right knee into your left hand a little bit more. Really fitting that glove into the ball, your right knee. Good. And then start to twist. Look back and around. Think that you're moving around yourself to get maybe over something. Surrendering, letting go. Coming back to that idea of a parigraha. Look back, but use your left eye to get all the way around yourself. And then add the breath. Inhale up the front, down the back, left and right. Come back to yourself at your center. Breathe out. Good. Come all the way back through center. Really, really nice twist, Leela. Good. And then from here, come back again into a downward facing dog. The measurement of a down dog is from a plank. So if you need to readjust yourself, don't guess where your down dog should be. Take a moment to measure out your distance of plank, and then start to lift your hips up and back. Put a micro bend into your knees, everybody. So just like when we did Dandasana, we hinged and folded from our pelvis to find more space. So allow the knee bend to allow the torso to be buoyant. You can even rock a little bit side to side, maybe sway or shake out the hips a little bit. And then inhale, lift your right leg straight up and back, down dog split. Draw your right knee into your navel, round the spine, a little bit of that cat shape. Think that your right knee draws you forward to draw your left heel back. And then take a step with your right foot to your right thumb. Tent the fingertips again, right hand to 3, left hand to 9, and then push down into the ball of your right foot. So you can lift a little bit into your right hip. Try to lift your right hip up so it's in one line with your shoulders, and then drop your left knee down, untuck your back toes. Reach your arms forward and up for a low crescent lunge. Really strong, good. Get your arms in line with your ears. That's it. Take your left hand to the back of your head, like you're fixing your hair behind you. That's it. And then take your right arm out towards the side. Turn your right thumb down, and then really turn your upper arm bone in. Make a fist with your right hand. Take your right fist to your sacrum at your low back. And then use your right hand. Draw your fist down towards the ground. Buttock bone down towards the ground. And as you do that, really feel your pubis draw you forward and up. Lift up and out of your left shoulder. And then think your armpits go out to find more space in the collarbones. That's it. Push down through your right big toe. Take one more full deep breath in. Exhale. Take your left hand, release it down to the inside of the right foot. Really get it close, everybody. That's it. So you're taking your left hand, almost making a connection from your left inner arm to your right inner knee. Good. And then from here, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. Straighten your left leg back. That's it. Can you take the gaze forward towards 12 o'clock, but keep your tailbone back towards 6 o'clock? You want to breathe this into the twist. Start to turn yourself over to the right. Maybe start to reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. That's it. Twist by reaching your left tip of your left shoulder blade up to your right collarbone, making an X marks the spot in the center of the chest. Look up, but use your left eye to look up. That's it. Take your right arm up and over towards the front of the mat. Tuck your chin into your armpit. That's it. Stay with me. Look down. Plant your hands to the inside of your right foot. Walk your hands around for a wide leg fold. That's it. Shorten your stance, everybody, just a little bit from here. Draw your heels directly behind the center of your feet. Put a deep and big bend into your left knee. Walk your hands out in front of you. Try as best as you can to make a triangle. Maybe the hands come together to touch a little bit, but really push the weight into all 4 corners of your left foot. That's it. Look at your right foot. Walk your hands around to frame your right foot. Come back to your lunge. It's going to be a little bit shorter stance, and that's okay. Take your left foot to step it forward to your right foot. Make 2 fists. Take your 2 fists to the inside of the feet. Bend your knees. Grab opposite hand to opposite elbow. Relax your chest towards your thighs. Go a little bit deeper, everybody, than you think you should go. That's it. And then start to reach your arms forward. Draw your knees forward, your butt bones back. Keep your knees directly over the center of your feet. Push down through your feet. Lift your chest. Rise all the way up. Take your hands in line with your ears. Keep the opposite hand to opposite elbow. That's it. And then just release your hands next to your hips. Good. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale and fold. Uttanasana, forward bend. Plant your hands, step your right foot back for a lunge. Step your left foot to plank pose. Heels back, reach the head forward. Look forward from your navel. Draw your navel forward. That's it. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up and back. Draw your left knee into your navel. Good. Think your left knee draws you forward, but your right heel anchors you back. Set your left foot forward to your left thumb. Take your hands wide and off the mat. Left hand to 3, or right hand rather to 3, left hand to 9. And then lift your left hip up in line with the shoulders. Can you keep the gaze forward, but also use your peripheral vision to look out? Drop your back knee down. That's your right knee. Untuck your toes. Reach your arms forward and up. Good. Really good, everybody. Good. From here, again, start to really use your tailbone to draw you back and down. Take your right hand to your head. Good, at the back. Push your head back into your hand. And then take your left arm out wide, turn your thumb down, rotate your inner arm in and down, make a fist with your left hand. And then put that fist in your sacrum at your low back. Draw your fist down to lift the front of your pubis forward and up. That's it. So there's a little bit of a back bend from here. That's it. Stay for one more full deep breath in, then exhale. Hinge. Drop your right hand down. Again, try to go for the inside of that left foot. And then really straighten your arm. Push your hand down. Think the arch in your palm draws you down, but it also lifts you up and out of the shoulder. And then really take the gaze forward before you come into the twist, get centered. Turn, open to the left. If you want to go deeper, reach your left hand straight up over your ear. As you breathe into the twist, twist from the tip of your right shoulder blade to open your left collarbone, making an X marks the spine in the center of the chest. That's it. If you want more, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up if you're not there already. That's it. Reach your left hand up and over your ear. Tuck your chin into your armpit, everybody. That's it. Look down, plant your hands. Walk your hands around. Take a wide leg fold. Walk your feet in just slightly. A little bit shorter stance. And then shift the weight into your right foot this time. Walk your hands out in front. Two ends of your feet make that triangle. And then your hands come forward to make the apex of the triangle. Really come into all four corners of your right foot. Notice where you go and where you don't go. Where you may be disengaging now on your left foot. Just notice to be aware. Look at your left foot. Walk your hands forward. A little bit shorter stance again. And then step right foot up to meet the left. Make two fists with your hands. Slide them to the inner arches of the feet. Bend your knees a lot. That's it. Chest to thighs. Opposite hand to opposite elbows this time. Push down evenly through your feet. Draw your knees forward, your butt bones back. That's it. Start to lift your chest up. Reach your arms. Keep your hands and your elbows. Think your elbows push out into your hands so your armpits build more volume. And then breathe in through the front of the body, down the back, left and right. Exhale, come back to your center. Release your hands down next to your hips. Really good work, everybody. Good. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale and fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, plant your hands. Left foot back for your lunge. Step your right foot back to meet it. Your choice here, you can stay in a plank pose, or you can maybe lower down to your first chaturanga. Baby cobra or upward facing dog. That's it. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up and back, down dog split. Exhale, draw your right knee into your navel, round the spine. Pull your right knee forward to press your left heel back. Really anchor your left heel back. That's it. Set your right foot forward to your right thumb. Take your hands again wide and off the mat. Right hand to 3, left hand to 9. Drop your back toes. Untuck them. Good. Reach your arms forward and up. Low crescent lunge. Good. Left hand right away to the back of your head. Take your right arm out wide. Turn your thumb down. Bend your elbow. And then again, make a fist with your right hand. Put it in your low back at your sacrum. Good. Draw the fist down to back bend a little bit from your pelvis. Think your left elbow lifts you up and out of the pose. That's it. And then start to hinge again from the waist. Release your left hand down again. Try to go again inside of the right foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up, everybody. That's it. If you want to go a little bit deeper, start to turn to the right. Maybe reach that right arm up. Open the palm. That's it. Take your right arm up and over side. Bend chin into armpit. Look down, plant your hands to the inside of your right foot. Walk your hands around again for a wide leg fold. Shorten your stance. That's it. So from here, again, make that triangle. Hands come forward. Really notice if you're pressing into all four corners of the feet. And then start to bend into your left knee. That's it. Can you walk your hands out a little bit more in front of you, but don't lose that connection with your right foot? Listen carefully. Look at your right foot this time. Walk your hands around. You might want to peek at me at the front. Walk your hands around first to frame your right foot. That's it. And then you're going to travel around to the right, but your feet are going to pivot. You're not going to move your feet. And then I want you to take, it's going to be a cross, like an X with your knees. You're going to take your hands out in front. So you have two hands out towards the front of side of the mat rather, and then 2 feet really coming into the sides. Roll onto the outer edge of the feet, everybody, and then you can bend your knees. So it looks almost like a cross-legged down dog, but your hands are wide, and you're making a rectangular shape from hand to hand, from foot to foot. So to make that rectangle, maybe you draw the hands out wider or a little bit more forward to bend the knees a little bit more. That's it, everybody. Good. And then walk the hands back around to the front of the mat, Step it forward and fold. That's it. Make 2 fists. Slide the fists in between the knees. Bend your knees. Opposite hand to opposite elbow. Bend your knees a lot, chest and thighs. Press your feet down evenly. Lift your chest. Come all the way up. Rise. Good. And then release your hands down. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Good. Fold forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees as you fold. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back for a lunge. Step your left foot back to plank pose. And then again, your choice. Hold plank. Lean forward, look forward. Bend your elbows to 90 degrees. Chaturanga. Straighten your legs, point your toes. Lift your chest forward and up. Up dog. Really good. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up and back. Down dog split. Draw your left knee into your navel. Good. Draw your left knee forward, but anchor your right heel back. That's it. Step your left foot forward to your left thumb. Take your hands again wide off to the sides. Right hand to 3, left hand to 12. Drop your back knee down, untuck your toes. Reach your arms forward and up. That's it. Really good, dog. Good. Get your arms in line with your ears. That's it. Take your right hand to the back of your head. Good. Left hand reaches out towards the side. Make a fist with your left hand. Put in your low back at your sacrum. Think your right elbow lifts you up. That's it. So really get that right elbow straight up, Leela. That's it. So good. Pull the elbow in even more. Good. And then from here, fold from the waist. Set your right hand down close, close, close to the left foot. Think your left palm presses back towards the back, and then start to twist and open. Keep reaching the crown of the head forward towards 12 o'clock, but reach your tailbone again back towards 6. If you want more, again, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. Maybe you reach that left hand up, side bend, reach the arm up and over, tuck your chin into your armpit. That's it. Set both hands out of the inside of the feet. Walk your hands around, everybody. Again, shorten your stance. Shorten your stance. Good. Hands in front of you like a triangle. Heels make the corner, the edges of the triangle. Reach your hands forward for the apex of the triangle. And then push evenly into the feet. Bend into your right knee. That's it. That's it. Good. So we're going to come into that funky variation again. Walk your hands forward. Listen carefully or look at me. Walk your hands to frame your left foot. Then walk your hands around so the feet don't move. They just pivot. Pivot, pivot, pivot. That's it. Take your hands all the way around to the left, all the way around to the left, all the way, all the way. The knees are going to bend. Bend your knees more to really try to fit one knee behind the opposite side. And then walk your hands out directly in front of your feet. So you're coming into more of a rectangular shape. Heel to heel, line to line, and then maybe you go a little bit longer, really getting those long lines, long sides. Good. And so we know the rectangular isn't flat, right? A rectangular is really a prism. It's buoyant. There's lots of volume in it. So start to breathe in, and then exhale, breathe out through all sides. Walk your hands back towards your left foot to frame it, and then step it forward with your right foot. Make two fists, slide the fist inside of the feet, bend your knees. Opposite hand to opposite elbow. Try again to switch your dominant side. Push down evenly into all four corners of the feet. Think your knees go forward, your butt bones draw you back. Lift your chest. Come all the way up to stand. That's it. Good, and then find that volume through the chest. Push your hands out into your elbows, and then really draw your armpits out wide to widen through your collarbones. Release your hands down. That's it, so good. Good, step all the way to the top of your mat, everybody, if you're not there. And then really start to shift your weight into your left foot. Draw your right knee into your chest. Good. From here, take your right hand to your right foot for a 4 square position. Try to take your foot about to the middle of your right thigh, and if you have a wall, you're welcome to use it for balance work. Big bend into your left knee. If you can, hands to your hips, or hands can come to your heart. I'm going to take my hands to my hips for a little bit more balance today. Use your imagination for all of this. Start to draw a line from your right buttock bone to your left knee, and then draw a line from your left buttock bone to your right knee, making an X in the center. Do that again, using your imagination through all of it. Right buttock bone to left knee, left buttock bone to right knee, X marks the spot. That's it. Slowly begin to straighten your left leg. Draw your right knee into the chest. Find a 90-degree angle from your right hip to your right knee to your right heel, and then set your right foot down. Really good work. Shift your weight right away into your right foot. Hug your left knee in into your chest. Good. Take your left hand just to guide your foot to the middle of your right thigh. That's it. Big bend into the right knee, like you're sitting back into a chair. And then again, hands on the hips. If you need a wall, use a wall for support. Really start to make a connection. So the angle of this left leg is a triangle, but we're working it with our imagination to really come into more of that rectangular shape. So use the imagination through all of this. When we use our imagination, that's where we have our power. When we start to use that grid of our body, where one point connects to another, that's where we know our weakness. That's where we know our strong point, so that we can play them evenly. We know in our terrain, our own personal body, where we have our strong points, or we have our weak points. And none of that's good or bad, but it's information, and information is powerful. So use your imagination to connect your right buttock bone to your left knee, your left buttock bone to your right knee, making an X marks the spot, really creating more of that rectangular shape in the hips and the pelvis. And then push down through your right foot, hug your left knee back in, get that 90-degree from your left hip to your left knee to your left heel, and then set your left foot down. That's it. Release your hands down next to your hips. Good. Turn to your left. Turn to your left. Step your feet to the widest part of your mat. That's it. Good. Take your hands on your hips. And then from here, really start to take your left leg, turn your left foot in about 45 degrees, and then start to bend your right knee, lift your right heel up. Turn your leg out at the hip to send your right knee forward for warrior 2. But keep the hands, everybody, just for now, onto the hips. Bend your right knee, really track your right heel directly underneath your knee. And then one more time, turn your torso all the way to the left, all the way to the left. Reach your arms all the way up. Interlace your hands. Push your palms up. Think the palm lifts you up and out of your chest. And then start to turn your left inner thigh in and down. But as you do that, turn your chest a little bit more to the left. Really draw your pubic bone forward and up. Draw your tailbone back and down. Now open the arms out wide into a T, warrior two. Take the gaze over your front middle finger. So strong, Dawn. Beautiful practice. Good. Stay here. Bend a little bit more through that right knee to get the thigh parallel to the front of the mat. That's it. Make a fist with your left hand. Your left hand. Take your left hand, turn the inner arm in and down. Take the left fist into your tailbone at the sacrum at the low back. Good. And then reach your right arm straight up. That's it. Take your right hand to the back of your head. Push your head back into your hand. And then start to push down into your right ball of your foot to straighten and lengthen your right leg. Think your right quadricep lifts you up. From here, take your left fist, and I want you to try as best as you can to hook your left fist around to the top part of your right thigh, but keep it around the back in a half bind. Yes, that's it. Good. And then use the fist as leverage. Push your pelvis back. Push your fist into your right hip and allow the forward bend to really come from your pelvis at the hip. Keep your head pushing back into your hand as you come into triangle pose variation. You can stay with the head pressing back, or maybe reach the right hand down to the shin or to the ground or to a block. Keep the left hand into a fist, everybody. Use that as leverage. Think that the right hip plugs you back into the hip socket, but think there's a turning in and down of the left hip. That's it. And then sort of come into the twist. Open the chest out towards the left. Maybe start to look up, using your right eye to look up and around. That's it. Stay for one more breath. Push your feet down, lift all the way back up. Take your hands into your hips. Whew. Straighten both legs parallel through both feet before you switch on the opposite side. Good. So from here, really just start with the legs in that first warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Put your brain in your right foot. Find where your right foot is. Turn your right foot in a little bit, about 45 degrees or so. As you do that, your right inner thigh is going to turn in and down. And then put a big bend into your left knee. Lift your left heel. Turn your leg out of the hip. Good. And then send your toes forward. So the reason that we do that is we really, really get that inner thigh rolling to the outer thigh. And then bend into that left knee. Take the knee directly over the heel. Turn your torso again to the right, everybody. Turn your torso to the right. That's it. And then again, reach your arms straight up. Interlace your hands with the webbing. Push your palms up. Good. Think your perineum presses you down, but it lifts you up out of your palms. That's it. And then see again, if you can turn your torso just slightly to your right leg. Slightly to your right leg. Good. And then open your arms out wide into that T-shaped warrior two. Take your gaze over your left fingertips, but don't turn your torso, just turn your head. That's it. And now so you can go a little bit deeper, taking that front thigh a little bit more parallel, but keeping the torso upright. That's it. Good. Take your right hand, make a fist with your right hand, and then start to turn your inner arm in and down, make a fist and put it into your low back at your sacrum. That's it. From here, reach your left arm straight up. Take your hand behind your head. Push your head into your hand. Good. And then push the weight into your left ball of your foot to begin to contract and lift that left quadricep up. That's it. And then if it's accessible for you for the half bind variation, take your right arm, try to get your fist on your right hand into your left hip. Think that your left hip presses into your hand to really forward bend from the pelvis. Think that your left hip plugs you in and back, but there's a slight turning in and down of your right thigh. That's it. Keep your hand behind your head or reach your hand to the ground, to the shin, to a block, anywhere that feels accessible for you in the body. Keep using that fist, everybody, on that right hand to plug you in and back to allow the movement to come from that right hip spinning in and down. And then move from the twist. So it's a forward bend, it's a twist, the legs are straight. There's a lot going on in this triangle pose. And then really put yourself in the center. Feel your past behind you, for your potential moving you. And then start to revolve around yourself by looking up. That's it. Good. Push the weight into your feet, straighten your legs. Hands into the hips. Take your feet back to parallel. Step your feet together. Good. Beautiful, Leela, good. And then step your feet all the way to the top of the mat. Come all the way up to the top of the mat. Good. From here, press your feet down, find Tadasana. Turn your palms out. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale and fold. Uttanasana, forward fold. Come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. You can step or hop back to Chaturanga Dandasana, your choice. Hop, step, or jump back. Traditional vinyasa, only if it serves you. And then meet back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back, down dog split. Exhale, step your right foot forward to your right thumb. Take your right hand to 3. Take your left hand to 9. Put a little air in your tires. Lift your right hip up in line with your shoulders. And then notice where you're looking. Can you look forward towards 12 o'clock, but also see 3 and 9 in your peripheral vision? Really lifting all the way up, and then reach your arms up and over your head. Anjaneyasana, high lunge. Straighten your right leg. That's it. Put more weight into the ball of your foot so you're a little bit less wobbly. That's it. Deeply bend your back knee, your left knee. That's it. And I want you to really use the pelvis from here. As you bend your left knee, draw your pubic bone forward and up to lift your sternum up. That's it. And then re-bend through your right knee. Think your right knee goes forward, but start to press your left heel back. Good. Straighten through the back leg, but keep that bend in the front knee. That's it. Take your left hand to the back of your head. Take your right hand around. Make a fist with your right hand. Put it in your low back at your sacrum. Good. Really pull your elbows out towards the side for more volume across the chest and sternum. And then from here, start to hinge, 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 and fold. Set your left hand down to the inside of your right foot. Left hand inside of the right foot. Good. And then from here, you can take it into a side plank. Spin on the outer edge of the left foot. You can stagger or stack your feet. And then maybe start to reach your right arm up. Good. Flex your feet a lot. Everybody take your right hand to your right hip. Right hand to your right hip. Trust the process, right? Take your right inner thigh in and down. Right inner thigh in and down. So as you do that, it creates more challenge, but it's going to give you more power. That's it. You can do it on your knee if you need to, Barbara. Good. Now reach that right arm all the way up. That's it. Take your right arm up and over, chin into armpit. Yes, you can. Good. Look down, plant your hands. Come into a plank pose. Good. And then either chaturanga to up dog or press back to downward facing dog. All of this with a smile, right? That was really fun, really hard. Lift your left leg up when you're ready, everybody. Draw your left knee in. Set your left foot forward. And then again, now you know where we're going, so really put yourself in a map. Take your right hand to 3, your left hand to 9. So we each have a side that's like, oh, that's a little bit more tricky. So know where your boundaries are. Know where you're weak. Know where you're strong so you can find yourself in the center. Reach your arms forward and up. Anjaneyasana pose. Good. Put the weight into your front left ball of your foot to straighten the leg. Allow yourself to get a little bit shaky, a little bit vulnerable. Keep your front leg straight. Bend your right knee. Bend your right knee. That's your back leg. Yes. Good. Draw your pubic bone forward and up. Draw your tailbone back and down. That's it. Now rebend your left knee. Think your left knee draws you forward, and then your right leg straightens to anchor you back. And then put a little air in your sail. Lift all the way up, up, up. Think your left knee pulls you forward like a rudder, but your right heel lengthens and anchors you back. That's it. Make a fist with your left hand. Take it around the back. Put it into your low back at your sacrum. That's it. Right hand to the back of your head. Lift your right elbow up. Think your right elbow draws out towards the side, and your left elbow pulls you out so you find that volume from front to back to right to left. And then exhale, hinge from the hips. Release the right hand down. That's it. So you know where the path is now. Come into your side plank, everybody. That's it. Step, you can come down onto one knee. Good, come look at the screen. Good, and then everybody, take your top arm, take your left hand to your left hip. Good, left hand to your left hip. Yeah, it's gonna get wobbly for a moment. And then really turn, that's it, Julie. Turn your left hip in and down. In and down, that's it. So you're creating that volume and space. Now start to look up. Maybe you take that left hand directly over the ear. That's it. Side bend if you want. Beautiful, Barbara. Chin into armpit. Trust the process. Yeah, and then when you're ready, look down, plant the hands. Beautiful, Dawn. Good. Flow or no flow, your choice. Your choice. Up dog on the breath in. Downward facing dog on the breath out. Good. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet, to the back of the mat, to the back of the mat. Good. And then bend your knees, slowly come all the way up to standing. How did that come up last? Set your blankets up now, everybody. So we're going to have 2 blankets or 2 beach towels. If you don't have them, you can also fold or roll your mat up a little bit. Take your 2 blankets in that square shape where we began. Stack them one on top of another and put them towards the back of your mat. So you have them nice and handy. That's it. Good. Towards the back of your mat. Good. And then when you're ready, come all the way back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Just ignore the blocks, or the blankets behind you. Just note that they're there. Lift your right leg up and back. Draw your right knee into your navel around the spine. Set your right foot to your right thumb. Take your hands wide, everybody. Right hand to 3, left hand to 9. Draw your pubis to 12, your tailbone to 6, and then lift your arms forward and up for your high lunge. Anjaneyasana. That's it. Straighten through your front leg. Bend your back knee. Draw your pubic bone forward and up. Draw your tailbone back and down. And then put a deep bend into that right knee. Put your rudder forward. See where you're moving, but then anchor your left leg back by straightening it. Put a little air in your sail. Lift the chest up. That's it. That's it. Good. And then from here, take your left hand to your head. Reach your right arm around. Make that fist at your low back. Lift up and out. A little bit of a back bend. That's it. Fold, fold, fold from the hips. Set your left hand down to the inside of the foot. Reach your right arm all the way up. Good. So from here, look down, plant your hands. Walk your hands around again to the left. To the left. Find your wide leg fold. Big bend into the left knee. Should feel nice off of that right leg. Look forward. Walk your hands forward to make that triangle shape. And then look at your right foot. Come back to face the front of the mat. Here's where we move again into that first sort of shape that we had. We're going to walk our hands all the way around to the right, but don't move your feet. Pivot your feet. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Bend your knees a lot. Reach your hands right directly in front of your feet, so you're making more of a rectangular shape. Bend your knees to fit your knees into the backs of one another. That's it. And then from here, take your right hand like it's a triangle right out in front of you. Heel to heel. Make a line from either side to make that triangle with your right hand. Tense your fingertips with your right hand if you can. Imagine a ball is underneath your right hand. And then pick up your left hand, make a fist, put it in your sacrum at your low back. Bend your knees more, lean forward, and then start to twist open to the front of your mat, to your left. That's it. So good. Should feel so hard, I know. That's the whole point. Take one more breath. Keep turning, turning, turning around yourself to see more around yourself. Really get yourself in the center, and then set your left hand down. Good. Slowly walk your hands back, everybody. Grab your 2 blankets. Keep your legs as they are. We're going to come in Gomukhasana legs. Take your blankets directly behind you. So for most of us, we're going to use the side of the mat. And I like to use the side of the mat. This is kind of why I set us up here. Because your feet and your ankles have more space and more grip, okay? So for most of us, our knees have a hard time, at least I have one side that's really a lot harder for me. One knee may not connect behind. So you can rock yourself forward a little bit and really try to get the knees connected, just like we did in that kind of funky variation of a wide leg down dog variation, and then sit all the way back. That's it. Good. If you have your blocks handy, grab your blocks. I like to take them on either side of me. And when we do this, we're really moving from our pelvis. So we feel it into our outer hips. But to get more into the space, we have to sort of move our pelvis a little bit more forward. So the blocks can be used as a little bit more of a boundary. So start to draw your pubis forward, just like we did in the seated Dandasana at the beginning of practice. Draw your pubis forward to draw your butt bones back. So there's a slight lifting forward of the sternum, but we do that by tilting the pubic bone forward and the tailbone back and down. That's it. And then if you want to take the full variation, you're going to reach your right arm straight up. You're going to bend your elbow, take your hand behind your head just to start. Take your left arm out to the side, make a fist, draw your inner arm in and around, and then now instead of your low back, maybe start to take the hands and connect. Good. If you're having trouble connecting, turn your heart slightly to the right. Turn your heart slightly to the right. That's it. Good. Either stay in full Gomukhasana, or you can bring this into the fold. Fold, fold, fold. Come all the way down. And then really start to flex through the feet. So you're building that leverage from the ground. Think your perineum draws you down to lift you up. That's it. And then start to breathe. Breathe in the front, the back, the left, the right, up and down. Exhale as you come back to your center. And then slowly lift the chest, come all the way up and out of this. That's it. Take your blocks off your mat. And then from here, slowly begin to take your hands back around to frame the front. Lengthen your right leg. Step your left foot back for a lunge. Good. Plant your hands. Make your way back to down dog. And then keep your blankets there just for a moment. Slide them. You can slide them back a little bit if they're kind of in the way. If you want to flow, flow. Inhale forward for plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Upward facing dog as you breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Lift your left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to navel. Set your left foot forward. Walk your hands wide, everybody. So with all of these things, find that space, find that volume. And then slowly begin to lift your arms forward and up. Find your lunge. Good. Put the weight into your ball of your left foot to straighten your leg. Take a big bend through your right knee. Draw your pubic bone out and up. Draw your tailbone back and down. Good. Now start to re-bend through your left knee. Find your vision, find your rudder, and then straighten your right leg to find your anchor. Lift your chest up, put a little wind in your sails. Good, good, good. Drop your hands down, everybody. Frame your front foot. Slowly again, walk your hands around to the inside of your left foot. Inside of your left foot. Good, so take the counter stretch first. Bend your right knee a lot. Allow this to feel really nice into the outer hips. Round down through all four corners of your feet. Good. Walk your hands around to frame your left foot. Your left foot. Good. So first come into lunge and then pivot onto the feet. You can move the feet in slightly. And then again, make your props, take your props directly behind you. So as we come into Gomukhasana, again, start to find first the feet. We're going to move into the twist first before we find Gomukhasana. This time, take your left hand out in front of you. Make that triangle shape from heel to hand. Imagine a ball underneath your left hand. Tempt your fingertips if it's accessible. And then make a fist with your right hand, everybody. That's it. Put it on your low back at your sacrum. That's it. And then start to turn. Turn your torso forward and around yourself. That's it. It helps to bend the knees more so you have that buoyancy in the upper body. This is not meant to be easy. Twists are all about change. Twists are about letting go or surrendering of things that don't serve us. And then when you're ready, walk your hands back. Bend your knees. If you don't have your blankets behind you already, put your blankets. That's it. Right, back, and behind you. Good. Come into Gomukhasana on the second side. That's it. If you can't see me, that's okay. Good. Walk your hands forward, everybody. Draw your knees closer together. And then again, notice, just simply be aware. I like the blocks on either side of me because you really start to become really aware of where your personal terrain, your personal domain and territory is maybe a little bit more challenged on one side or another. And it's just more information, right? It's not good or bad. It's just simply information that we can use, and that information is powerful. And then if you want to take the full Gomukhasana, reach your left arm up, bend your elbow to get behind your head, make a fist with your right hand, turn your thumb down, turn your inner arm in at the shoulder, and then again, you can just stick that hand in your low back at your sacrum like we've been doing, or start to make a connection. So for most of us, not only our hips may be tighter on one side, but we may not connect with our arms at one side. And so just be aware of that. Be aware of your personal domain. Think your elbows pull you out towards the side to create more volume in your collarbone and in your armpits. Think that your pubis draws you forward just slightly, but allow your tailbone to draw you back and down. Think your hips move out to their own sides, the right and the left. And then add the breath. Inhale, up, down, left and right, front and back. Exhale, find yourself at your center. Beautiful. Release the hands. That's it. Walk your hands forward. You can slide the blocks or slide the props and blocks and blankets off to the side. Come back with your left foot forward. Step your right foot back. And then slowly step back. Downward facing dog. If you want one final flow, feel free to flow. If you want to find that grounding for the week ahead, feel free to take that vinyasa flow. That's it. That's it. Good. And then find a comfortable seat. Come back again. I'm going to offer finding a Virasana, just like we started, but you can also do this in a Sukhasana, a legs crossed. Take your two blocks, everybody, side by side, just like we started. We're going to end with a little bit of pranayama and meditation before we come into full Shavasana. And for this, you may want to also sit onto a blanket. You're going to put the blanket on top of your blocks or your books. Put the blanket right in between your buttock bones and your heels. So you're finding that space and volume. That's it. Good. And then take again, either hands to the thighs like you began, or you can imagine your hands are two gloves and you're going to fit them with a ball. Your heel is the ball. Good. And then really start to draw the pubic bone forward to tilt you forward just slightly. That's it. And then take a moment, maybe close the eyes again or take the gaze down. And then really notice from here, begin to notice that you have a front, you have a back, you have a left and a right, and up and a down. Feel in front of you is north, behind you is south, to the left of you is east, and to the right of you is west. And one, go all the way down and find your perineum. Find yourself in your center. Two, travel up to the back of your right eye. See if you can look out and turn your chest just slightly to the right. Three, travel around your back. All of this with your imagination. Around your back to your left armpit, bringing your heart forward a little bit. Travel up to the front of your left eye. See your vision, what's in front of you. See dawn in front of you. 5, feel your center of your chest, your heart's desire, your great mediator. 6, travel down, plug your right foot into the ground, your place of mobility. 7, travel up to your right armpit. Think that your right armpit moves you out to find volume. And then 8, travel around to plug your left foot in, your place of stability. 9, travel up to the center of your forehead at your third eye, your personal vision, your observatory. And then 10, feel the whole body together. So now we'll add the breath. Inhale, 1, go down to your perineum. Exhale, 2, travel up to the back of your right eye. Find your reflection, your memory. 3, travel around your back to your left armpit, space of your heart. Move your left chest a little bit over to the right. So you're moving with time. Inhale up, find the front of your left eye. Exhale, find the center of your chest. Inhale, plug your right foot in. Exhale, go up to your right armpit, think it moves out to its own side. Exhale, move down to your left foot, plug your left foot in. Inhale, up to your right, to the middle of your forehead at your third eye. Then exhale, breathe out through the whole body. And then slowly, mindfully, begin to open your eyes. And then take your hands off your heels. If you want to stay in seated meditation for the remainder of our practice, you're welcome to do so. If you're ready to lay on your back, feel free to come down for Shavasana, lay all the way down. And I'm going to offer a big hip opener for Shavasana for those that would like it. We did a lot of inner rotation of the inner thighs today. So it's nice to take the hips open a little bit so they're really externally rotating instead of internally rotating. Take your 2 blankets or your 2 beach towels and put your feet together, soles of feet together like a Baddha Konasana. Tuck your blankets right underneath your thigh. And for my hips, I like to actually fold my blanket again. So there's a little bit more of the ground coming up to your outer thigh and outer hip. And then start to recline yourself, come all the way down. And then if you want to place your hands on your chest, on your torso, you can play with any of the arm variations that we did today, maybe opposite hand, opposite elbow, if you want to play with that theme of just finding more volume in the body as we allow more volume to come in. We're creating more space to allow for more grounding. So start to settle in, relax all the way in and down, let yourself really drop in. And if you're still in meditation, feel free to stay there as long as you need to. Come back to this intention of surrendering, just letting go of what doesn't serve you. Our practice today was really around this idea of twisting. And as we practice twisting, it's this constant reminder of change in our life. And we're all feeling that right now, this uncertainty, this constant change. Nature reminds us of the changes around us, but it also reminds us of our own humanity. We move through the seasons move around us. And so really put yourself in the center of your circumstance so you get a better vision. You have that 360 perspective around yourself so that when we twist and move, we see where we're maybe a little bit more stuck, where we don't move as far. Not that we will judge, but really so that we can be more aware. And find the volume in the body. Breathe up the front, the back, the left, the right, up and down. Exhale, find that center that we've been playing with throughout our practice. And as we begin to come out of Shavasana, take a deep breath in. Let it out through the mouth with a sigh. If you're still on your back, straighten your legs. Make your way over to one side. And then come all the way over. Find your Sukhasana, legs crossed. Once you're at home, if you want to stay in Shavasana longer, feel free to. Right? You have that luxury now. You don't have to rush anywhere. Hopefully you don't. And then let's just settle in with final intention. Take one hand to the heart, opposite hand on top, and interlace the hands. Just make that third hand finding you, and then bow your chin to your chest. Let's close with the breath. Take a deep breath, inhale. Open, side out. Exhale. Blink the eyes open. Namaste. Thank you all so much for coming and practicing. It's so fun just for me even to be able to have this opportunity to teach you all. So it's so fun. Please tell your friends and coworkers and family. We've moved all of the ease classes, by the way, to start at 5 o'clock during the week. So, if that time doesn't work, or if this time is, you tell us, right? We're looking for feedback if this time isn't really working as well. But hopefully it's a good time right before dinner and right immediately after work. I never mind if you show up a couple minutes late, by the way, so always come. We'll be here. Do you want to turn yourself off and say hi? Feel free to. It's nice to see so many of you.